Teaching is creative, fun, and purposeful. If it isn't, then it's not inspiring or meaningful for your students. And this doesn't mean that every lesson has to have bells and whistles, but it does mean that your teaching and learning strategies contain the essential elements that promote deep learning and engagement. This is part of a series on teaching strategies that you can use to improve student engagement and student learning and not use worksheets. In this video, you'll learn 10 ways that you can use teacher-led activities that increase student learning by increasing participation and engagement. And this video is about how to effectively support your students in their learning and achieve their best outcomes, all without the worksheet. I'm Mari Amaro. I'm a teacher, presenter, and author, and I've been working with students and teachers for over 30 years. I'm passionate about helping teachers improve teaching strategies and learning practices, and I combine research and experience to provide strategies that improve student learning by improving classroom management. And I focus on the practices that take little or no extra time, strategies that can actually give you back time by helping you to work more effectively. I love coaching teachers, and I emphasise teacher wellbeing because improved teacher wellbeing means improved student wellbeing, and that contributes to better academic and social outcomes for all students. If you'd like to learn more, please subscribe and ring the bell. We put out 2 videos every week. If you know anyone you think would benefit from the teaching strategies in these videos, please share with colleagues, friends, and family. Everyone knows a teacher or someone who works in a school. If you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. So these are the kind of strategies that you can use as a teacher when you're working with your students. So activities that increase engagement and help the students to actually become engrossed in the lesson, to participate. Number 1, fact or opinion post-its. So you can give each student 2 different coloured post-its. For example, a green post-it and a yellow post-it. They can then read through some set material to find one fact that they write on the green post-it and one opinion. They write that on the yellow post-it. Then each student has their own number, so they can put that as an identifier on the post-it, or they can write their name, doesn't matter, and they put it up on a large sheet under the appropriate heading. You can then assess how they're going, how they're understanding what a fact and opinion is, and then get the students to talk with partners and work together. They can be moving around to look at other people's post-its and see what they've put and see if they agree, and then discuss it as a class. And then you can use their post-its as learning evidence. Number 2, be the teacher. Let students have a turn at beginning the class, at doing the introduction, or allowing them to teach a lesson to the class. They need to plan it in advance, and you can support them to do that, and then they could present it either individually, in pairs, or in groups. Number 3, the 1-minute master. Get students to write for 1 minute about the most significant or useful or meaningful or awful or helpful thing that they learnt in your class or in your session. Get them to share with a partner, and then they can either agree or disagree or build upon what the other person has said. Number 4, questions. Teach students how to do multiple levels of questioning. So starting with the basic knowledge kind of questions, leading down to then analysing and evaluating types of questions. Get students to ask a partner and discuss it, or they can write an answer. Number 5, flip charts. Get students to use charts, write questions, and then quiz each other. They can write the questions on the flip charts. Number 6, students can use PowerPoint projects for science and social, any kind of topics that they're going to do a project on, get them to use PowerPoint or any other technology system that they can provide a presentation for. Number 7, math class story problems. Students can write their own story problem, put it in a class book and get other people to solve it. So make up a problem and then other people solve them. Then you could also put them online if you have Google Classrooms, or if you use any other kind of platform that every student can access. They could post them on there as well. Number 8, class revision. In 2 minutes, students have to recall and list in order the most important ideas from a lesson. Then in the next 2 minutes, they summarise those points into a single sentence. Next, they write one major question that they want answered, so something that they still are wondering about. And then the next step is they identify a thread or theme to connect the material to the course's learning intention. And finally, students then comment on how well they feel that they've learnt the information. You could get younger students then to use smiley faces or sad faces. They could use thumbs up or thumbs down for how well they think they've learnt. Number 9, play a physical game. You can adapt sports games and simple games that you can use indoor to revise material. So, for example, some examples are trash get balls, so students are in groups and answer questions. When they get it correct, they get to shoot the ball into a bin. Over time, you may adapt the rules and make them suit your particular classroom, because that's pretty cool. Around the World is another review game that I've used quite a bit. Students in pairs race to answer questions that the teacher or other students can ask, and the student who answers first or correctly moves to the next student for another question. Number 10, use stop the video and talk. So teachers often will do a worksheet while you're watching a video or after you watch a video. That's a common practice and can sometimes be useful. It also is really difficult for students to process a video while they're watching, especially if the words and ideas are new to them. So writing answers to a worksheet while watching a video also means they're going to miss important things. So instead of doing that, pause the video and have a conversation, have a discussion, reinforce what they've already said, explain anything that's not understood, and get students to reflect on it. Make sure that you don't just keep stopping and doing all the talking yourself, though. That can be a real trap. As we know, teachers talk a lot. But making sure you're getting some feedback from the kids. Use a back channel, number 11. Some classes I've observed over the last couple of years, teachers are starting to use this, and there are ways that you can use back channels while the teacher's teaching or while someone's up the front even. It's almost like you can create almost a private chat room for your classes. And most students are used to communicating by texting and commenting on social media. So you can use those skills into the classroom with ways to do that. If you'd like more ways to use a back channel, I'll post a link to 20 ways to use a back channel in the classroom. Number 12, get the kids to create a digital game like Kahoot or quizzes. You can do quizzes in the old analog way. They could write them on a piece of paper and do it, but you could also create quizzes. You could even use SurveyMonkey. Kids can do that in the classroom. You could get kids to create a trivia game or some kind of game show style quiz. And that's a really great way for them to learn the material as well, because if they have to make the questions, then they have to know the answers. Great way to do it. If you'd like to learn more about some alternatives to worksheets and ways that you can do that, check out our other videos. We've done videos on the reason why worksheets are ineffective and what you can do instead, how to use independent learning activities that are not worksheets, this one, which is teacher-led, and then another one on how to use collaborative activities that are not worksheets. And then there's another video even on when you do have to use worksheets, how to use them more effectively so that the kids are more engaged. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and happy teaching.